Hello, Year 2, and welcome to Monday's Reading Skills. So before we make a start today, looking at our next chapter in Flat Stanley, we're just going to quickly whiz over last week's words of the day. So just to remind you then, they were hurry, empty, shook, stain, and nudge. So just take a second then, try and remember what each of those words mean, then maybe see if you could put them into a sentence. Pause the screen and do that now. Okay, so the first one then was hurry. So if you hurry somewhere, you go there as quickly as you can. So you quite often hurry if you're in a rush. Alfie was in a hurry because he was late for the show. The next one was empty. If you empty a container or empty something out of it, you remove its contents, especially by tipping it up. Teresa emptied the bin as it was full of pencil sharpenings. Okay. Shook. So shook is the past tense of the word shake. So if you shake something, you hold it and move it quickly and backwards and forwards or up and down. Jack shook the box, which was, that should say, full of raffle tickets. Okay. Stain. So a stain is a mark on something that is difficult to remove. So sometimes you may have got pen on something which might have stained some clothing. The mud from the football boots had stained the carpet. I hope none of you have got stains on the carpet. And then finally, nudge. If you nudge someone, you push them gently, usually with your elbow, in order to draw their attention to something. So if you wanted someone to look at something, you might nudge them with your elbow as if to say, look over there. John nudged the person sat next to him in assembly. Right then, so we are going to be carrying on with Flat Stanley today. I know lots of you enjoyed it last week. I know I've been enjoying this book. So we will be continuing on today then, reading the next section of it. Now, if you are reading along at home, by all means, you can pause the screen and practice having a read of it first. Just to remind you, I have attached a copy of the book also to this within this lesson on Teams. So you can actually download your own copy of the book and print that at home if you prefer to read it as in a physical copy rather than reading it from the screen. Well, I have attached that for you. Okay. We're just going to finish off the end of this chapter. From my memory, it is the end of chapter 2, I believe. And then you are going to be doing a rye about that today. Okay. So pause the screen and have a go yourself first then, and then read along with me. Mrs. Lambchop was nervous because Stanley had never been away from home before. She tapped on the box. Can you see me, dear? She called. Are you all right? Stanley's voice came quite clearly. I'm fine. Can I eat my sandwich now? And try not to get overheated, dear, Mrs. Lambchop said. And then she and Mr. Lambchop cried out, goodbye, goodbye, and went home. Just out of interest, I wonder if you can remember what happened at the start of chapter 2. Why are they speaking to him in a box? So if you remember, Stanley was going to visit his friend, wasn't he, in California? And Mum and Dad said to send him on the aeroplane would be far too expensive. So they wrapped him up in an envelope and they posted him there instead. So that's what he's referring to. Hopefully you remembered that. Stanley had a fine time in California. When the visit was over, the Jeffreys returned him in a beautiful white envelope that they had made themselves. It had red and blue markings to show that it was airmail, and Thomas Jeffrey had lettered valuable and fragile, and this end up on both sides. Back home, Stanley told his family that he had been handled so carefully and he'd never felt a single bump. Never felt a single bump. Mr. Lambchop said it proved that jet planes were wonderful and so was the postal service. And that was a great age. It was a great age in which to live. Stanley thought so too. So let's have a look at our ride today then. So our retrieval question. What did the family write on Stanley's envelope? Okay, so you might have to go back and have a reread. There are actually 3 different words that they wrote on Stanley's envelope. You can just choose one, or you might retrieve all 3 of those for me. It's absolutely fine. So when you write that, you might write something like Stanley's or the family wrote, and then you can tell me what they wrote on the envelope. Now, your inference question is why did they write those things? Okay, so they wrote particular things on the envelope when they posted Stanley, but why did they write those particular things? Okay, so I don't want to give away what they were, but yeah, why did they write those specific words, do you think? So that's the inference question. And then the explain question. If you were small enough to fit into an envelope, where would you go and why? So if you could have your adult post you anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Okay, so when you write that one, you can write, I would go to, and then you could tell me because the reason why you want to go there. Okay, so just to remind you then, I have attached the RAI on a document on Teams as well, just like I did last week. And it does have the question, and then underneath it does have just the start of the sentence as well, because you are more than welcome to type your answer straight onto Teams on that document that I put on there. And then if you click submit, that comes straight to me, okay? If you don't want to do it like that and you'd rather do it on paper, that is absolutely fine. You can write your answer down, take a picture of that, and then you can attach that to this lesson and submit that to do it that way. Okay, so either way is absolutely fine. It will still get to me. Okay, so I hope you enjoy that, and I look forward to seeing you for chapter 3 tomorrow. Okay, speak to you soon, everyone. Bye.